very good afternoon, or is it good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second day of the fourth leg of the Kvf National League 2022-2023 season. And we are coming to you live from NYAYO National Stadium, where the action is going down. And today, the game that has been elusive the whole day, Florence, is just underway.
Yes, I'm sure most of us are really waiting for this match, considering how yesterday ended.
Exactly.
A bit of confusion and misunderstanding involving KPA against GSU match yesterday. I'm sure everyone is excited to witness this match, pretty much see what KPA is made of. We saw how KDF played Kahawa yesterday. They won with a 3-0 set margin yesterday. Today, rather, I don't know whether they're skeptical, I don't know whether KPA are worried or not, but we are yet to see. Welcome for this live stream. Once again, my name is Florence Bosire.
And of course, it's Emmanuel Yegon here for Trailblazers Volleyball Club. And this live is coming to you courtesy of TVC and Mafro Sports. And the matches that have been played today, it's actually just one match that had been played between administration, police, and Kenya Army. And Kenya Army won that match 3-1. And so we are just about to bring you all the action between KPA and KDF. I do not think KPA have lost any match to KDF in the past.
Well, they haven't lost any match to KDF in the past. Well, we don't know whether this is going to be a first, given the circumstances that surround this match. We hope the rains are not going to interfere once again, as they have done in the earlier part of the day. We hope it's going to stay dry until the end of this action that we hope is going to be very exciting.
It definitely will be exciting, and we are going to bring you the starting lineup shortly after this break. Back now, this is the first set of the match between KPA and KDF, and like we said, this has been the most anticipated match after the one that wasn't played yesterday between KPA and the General Service Unit. That was an away serve by Maxwell there, and another one by Brian Gamonde. These mistakes that we've seen over time during these league legs, and they are now coming back. You've seen what it does to the teams.
It does affect
It's another
teams, considering these are both top teams.
terrible service there by Bernard Wechuli for Kenya Defence Forces.
Well, a service for
Chris Owala
KPA with the
his usual jump serve goes out of court. Almost looks like everyone is passing the baton to the other one to do a net serve or
trying to warm up into the match. It's been raining, it's been cold, so
Kelly there. Beautiful finish for the KPA side there. Nicely done as well by the former Strathmore University player. KDF now, that is what's his name? Jersey number 2 for KDF, that is Josephat Karanja. These ones are going to be an interesting game if you ask me. Just looking at how the start has been, a lot of service errors there on either side.
the score's still tied at 8. We're waiting to see which team breaks away soon enough. Very important, quite a tense match this one, with both teams being very strong, very top teams in the Kenyan league right now.
See that beautiful block formation there by Gamonde and that is Gamonde and Doita. Another service for KPA, just 1 point ahead now. Libero picks it up. Ball is still in play. Nicely picked up by Busire there. Kelly with that one hand. Maxwell spins it. It's still in play. Chris Owala picks it. Doita finishes it quite simply. Of course, again, just for Karanja finishing that quite fast for his KDF side. Chris Owala was too slow for that. Also happening concurrently is the match between the General Service Unit and Nairobi Prisons. We'll keep you updated in as far as that is concerned as well. So do not touch the dial. Keep it here at TVC YouTube channel, and of course we'll let you know how everything runs from here.
Well, a good service from Josephat Karanja.
Isowala kills that. Josephat Karanja trying to have that conversation with his blocking defense there. Maxwell and Wechuli were too slow for that. Isowala has beautifully finished that. There's just a way in which Bosire for KPA does his service. Really tactical in the way he does it.
He does try to be tactical whenever
Maxwell, is it a touch out? Out of play. Seems to be a net touch. person crossed. Yeah, the service goes to the disagreement between the two referees.
Challenge maybe. There's a possibility of a net touch.
That be a common goal? Common goal? We wait and see.
There was a net touch.
Ball is given out to, that point goes to KDF. Samjuma picks it up nicely. Lila goes for it. Oita was not able to finish that because Max was there right in time to stop him.
Kdf serves, I think it's going to be a challenge for Twitter to lead the team into the goal. Having lost them dependable players in this particular match, probably the reason why they were contending the possibility of playing the players who have been playing professional. They know these are dependable players, and also their challenges this weekend. This particular league matches were quite strong, so that could be the basis of all this. But we are yet to see whether they are going to contain this KDF side, which seems to be very confident to their performance right now, having leading the scores by 3 points ahead. We don't know how this will turn out, but they really, KPA looks worried.
Well, considering the fact that they haven't played any match in this leg, and of course there was a controversial way in which yesterday's match was postponed. So of course they come into this match worried, like you're saying, uncertain about how it will turn up if they play without their players who just come back from professional tours. So I mean, you have to give it to them. It's not like the way it was expected that they would be flawed, but it's still early in the game to say anything. It's only 2 points. It's only 2 points. There are now 3 points between the two teams. Of course, KDF looking more dangerous in this particular set. But yeah, there's the other conversation, Florence, about the fact that these matches have been moved to Nairobi, and therefore the need for them to be played indoors. And then you see the way the weather has disrupted today's matches, and you also, it gets us back to that whole conversation about proper planning on the side of the federation. I'm hoping we can even get anywhere closer to what we are seeing in the indoor court with the basketball side.
The basketball side quite giving us quite the challenge in the manner in which they have prepared and planned their tournaments from start to finish. You saw them setting up early enough in time. By the time the games were starting, everything was set to go. We are yet to see this in the national leagues, both the women and the men's league, and it's also key to observe that the women's league, people don't quite show up for these league matches. I do not know why. And also the importance, like you mentioned, of early planning on matters, events and venues that are meant to be used. We have the Embakasi, the Langata Barracks, yes, indoor arena, which is a very good state-of-the-art establishment that can be used for volleyball. If you're going to move volleyball to the next stage, then we really need to invest in courts, really need to invest in infrastructure that is going to help the teams become the best that they can be, even in the world. Forget Africa. We have conquered Africa. We need to conquer the world.
Yep, we have a lot of talent, which again circles back to the whole conversation of whether or not we want to play to field the players who've come from international assignments. Because if they just come home and watch on the terraces like every other fan, and then you will want to do a national team call, and you want to include them, then you will have to have a conversation, an honest conversation with them.
And the fact that we actually have players who are sided in different teams outside the country, outside the continent sometimes, means that we have a rich basket of players, rich quality players who can be looked at to lead these teams, even the national teams, to victory. So there really is a lot to be done, very much to be done.
There seems to be a challenge with the blocking department there for KPA, especially in the middle, because a lot of those balls now have been played, and we have quite a challenge there. Kibungei there for KDF with that beautiful service. Chris Owala goes up, but that ball could not cross the line. And I think KPA need to really raise their heads. They're playing with their heads low, sort of like already giving up on this. And KDF is not a team that they're playing everyone. All their players are at home. So you do not want to give them that advantage of going like 3-4 points ahead of you. It will be a struggle, considering now you do not have the likes of Kamara, you do not have Omolo, the outside. So it's going to be quite a challenge for them to win this.
It will be a challenge, and it's
looks like history is going to be made today.
It's also going to be a blessing in disguise for the players who are still young and coming up, and it's a
because of the opportunity
for them to prove their worth. Also a stage for them to build their courage, or emotionally and mentally grow whenever you're facing an opponent who is a bit stronger than you, or should I say in this case, because if you look at the KPA side, they are fielding a young side, players who are not regulars in the court, just as a result of
jersey
what
number
happened.
8, that guy is Kevin Kipchumba. We've also seen Mika Lemoy coming in there in the middle. It's a new face for the KPA side. Of course, the rest have been playing for the port side for quite some time now. Kelly goes up and sends that ball away from the court, and it is still Bosire there with the service.
Bosire with the service. He does have tactical services. You can never tell where he.
Yep.
It takes time to look at how you have taken the stands when it comes to reception, then plays accordingly.
Yeah, you have to give it to him. Yeah, he's really good with that.
He is really good with that.
Kelly with that set. Maxwell goes up, and there's a net touch, and it is 19-20.
19-20.
Yep.
Not quite the margin that maybe KPA were afraid of.
KPA are pulling this back. They're just coming back up slowly by slowly. Coach Mulinge there having a conversation with his boys. Lilo having a conversation with the blocking lineup with Doita, Owala there. But surely you can see the players on the bench. Kamara there, Owala, and even Ayuen from Strathmore is, I am certain he seems to be in deep thought.
From the facial expressions, it's like they're mentally
almost like I
having,
wish I was there.
Yes,
to help in
so
that middle blocking
done,
defense.
But unfortunately, it is what it is, and we cannot flow, or we cannot.
Maxwell is left alone. That ball is still in. Okay. Yeah, they tried chasing after it, but it was the power there behind that ball by Maxwell was too much. So we wait and see. It's now 2 points again.
2 points ahead, and KDF having gone across the 20-point mark. Really,
is it the home stretch? We wait and see.
We can't quite tell it's the home stretch given the margins.
Yeah, considering
right
the way
now,
they've been playing now.
Anything can happen.
A couple of change there. Waiting waiting for the ball there to come back. It's been played out of court. Nick Kimtai for KDF going to serve, and you can see Bosiro there having a conversation with his libero Sam Juma and also Doita there. Remember, we have an exclusive collection of our best sports kit, and you can get that because now they are on offer. So just dial that number there, call us or send a text, and you will get one of the different replicas, or even all of them, for you and your loved ones, to also look good in our sporting kit. This live is coming to you courtesy of Trailblazers Volleyball Club and Mafro Sports. And so to follow all this action, remember to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and hit also the notification bell so that you are able to follow all these conversations, all the volleyball action from NYAYO Stadium, because we are still going to be here tomorrow for the remaining actions. And of course, I don't know if you've seen the schedule for the semis and finals of the Paul Bitop tournament.
Yes, the semis and the finals for this tournament will be from the 5th of
May. Yes.
I think it will still be at the Mo International Sports Center, Kasarani.
Come
and witness the semis and the finals of this tournament. Unfortunately, we could not have that last week because of the demise of our loving president, Mr. Waidaka Kioni. May he rest in peace.
Exactly.
We hope to finish this and see who's going to be crowned as the champion for that particular tournament. KPA at 20.
KDF 21. Chris Oala seems to be unstoppable, and they seem to have made a change in that blocking lineup. Nick Kimtai. The ball is still in court, very nicely played by Doita and Chris Oala. Swings in, but does not go in to kill it. Maxwell with all that power. It is Chris Oala again. Libero picks it up. Maxwell goes for it. Sam Juma. Oh, this is going to cost them. Oh, how it will. Oh, it goes out of play.
There is no touch. They equalize at 21-21. Like I said, you can never write them off.
Not over until it's over. Until the final whistle goes. He was trying to play the touch out.
He was, but sometimes you need to do that because the backward defense KPA seems to be very solid.
Yes, Maxwell goes for it. And that is such a beautiful block there. Really beautiful, beautiful block. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful block from Jeffrey James for KPA there. And KDF are forced to ask for that timeout there. And you can use this opportunity to have a look at our replica kits and place an order for the replicas for you and your loved ones. You can choose the green one or the blue home kit or the orange away kit. And we definitely will get that delivered to you. The number there is 0797-258-053. 0797-258-053. Also, let us know where you're watching from, so that then we are able to be in this, partake in this conversation together as we enjoy this sport that we all love. Nicely picked by Sam Juma, and Thoita goes in. The libero still has it. Again, Kelly, and then it's a touch-out.
Seems to be a problem with the attack lines on the KPA side. Thoita not delivering the way we anticipated, and clearly they're not settled. They are not settled. I would echo the sentiments from Lilian Bitutu. They still have a great team, but they have not settled mentally because maybe their major players were benched. But sometimes you need to twist your mindset a bit.
You have to adjust, right?
Yes.
You have to adjust, otherwise it's all up. Oh, there's a net touch there.
There is a net touch, and there seems to be a challenge. The coach telling the players, calm down, calm down. Emotions raging high right now because they know the importance of this particular match.
And it is
they need to
such a
win it.
crucial point, right?
A very crucial point.
The coach there, of course, they do not know who is that who has a net touch, so the coach has called for that timeout to sort of ask those players to calm down, because
Clearly
it is not yet over until it's over.
It's not yet over until it's over. You can never say that you have taken it until the last whistle. And that is the beauty of the game that is volleyball.
Oko Johnson, you're saying if only KPA can minimize mistakes and work on blocks more so on Bitok, then they'll win easily. It's Maxwell there with the service for KDF. They are still leading here. Chumba with the over reception there, and we truly could not take chances with it. They are at set point, KPA.
(24) KDF, 22 KPA. Will they regain this?
Noita picks it up. Kipchumba goes for it, and of course,
a very solid block.
very solid block there.
Unfortunately,
Massive wall with Wichuli and Kelly there.
Very tall players and strong. The players, Omolo feeling, I would say, mixed reactions there because of that first loss. Again, the beauty of it is that they have 2 more sets, or rather 4 more sets
to go
to recover from. So if they settle down and decide to play with whoever is on court, then it's going to be much better for them. We hope to see.
Unless it rains again.
Unless it rains again, and from the weather, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
If it rains, then it means that now we literally have to just leave for home, because
and also
nothing else will
the
continue.
match will have to start afresh.
Afresh,
because,
of course, yes.
It will be
if it doesn't end now, then
24 hours after the stop of the match, and with the hours right now, you cannot add an additional even 5 hours or 4. So should it rain, it will be as an advantage to KPA, don't you think?
They really hope that it does. I
Anything
have to
at this
assume
point,
so.
Anything at this point. Well, we have the match statistics for the first set of this particular match. KDF takes the set at 25-22. The attacks at 13 for KDF and 9 for KPA. For the block department is 4 for KPA and 3 for KDF. Service, none of the teams were lucky enough to get any service, and the opponent's error are tied at 9 for both teams. We don't know what the second set will bring. It has in store for either of the teams. KDF going into the second set a bit more confident, having taken the first set. KPA not so much.
Well, we can only hope to see what happens next. So if you're joining us, this is KPA versus KDF. This is day 2 of the 4th leg of the KVF men's tournament. So we are going to take just a short break and then be back for the second set. So do not go too far.
And it's the second set of the second match of the day, the second day of the fourth leg of the men's KVF National League. We have KPA tied at 3-3 by KDF. KDF having taken the first set. I see KPA trying to, what we call in Swahili, kutupa mateke. So I don't know how this is going to work out for them, but we hope for the best.
Well, it is just the beginning of the second set. Of course, KDF won the first set. Brian Gamonde there with the service. Maxwell picks it up really nice. Oh, that was a good one. I think also one thing that we have to give the setter, the KDF setter, is that he's also really creative, and he has actually replaced the other setter really well. Like, he's fit in those shoes, and I think he is really stepped up his particular match. Of course, Joseph Karanja there playing really well in that middle blocking area for KDF. It's one-man block. One-man block containing the other new face for KPA in that middle department. Of course, that is Mika Lemoy for KPA. Chris Owala, I think, is going to perform his signature service, the jump serve.
Unfortunately, it goes on the net.
Decides to spin it, and it lands square on the net.
It also seems to be not a good day for the attack. Like I said, the attackers from KPA not quite bringing in the A game. KDF taking advantage of that and trying as much as possible to capitalize on all the attack positions that they have functional, and clearly all of them are functional. So it's a tricky situation.
The way Nick Kimtai there, the setter for KDF, with that turn, everybody was expecting that that ball would go to Kelvin Omuse, but it goes all the way to Agri Kibungai.
I think it also is an advantage for the KDF setter, that the fact that he's a bit tall, so he's able to attack the balls from a higher point compared
Muse
to
now, and of course it couldn't be contained. That middle, of course, Lemoy for KDF. Lemoy, I mean, for KPA. Another service for KDF. Kibunge with that service. Nicely picked by Kichumba there, and then Doita. Maxwell stretches, and in the process displaces his libero.
He was hoping that the libero would call for that ball, because he attempted to save it despite not having blocked it in the initial stages. But it's also important for players to communicate while on court. Have to avoid some injuries
really playing a witty game against KPA. I do not think Bosire saw that coming. He was just left there standing.
It caught him completely by surprise.
A game of equals, if you ask me. The setters on each side are pretty witty.
They are pretty witty. And
Bosire there goes to serve. You will see, even in the way he serves, that he sort of tries to study the receiving line there, and then decides whether to play it backward or just in the front court there for Muse. That ball hits the net, and of course bounces back to his own court. It's 9-all.
9-all, yes, 9-all. KPA and KDF tying at the
with Chuli goes hard. Wala still has it.
Doita attempting
that dodge. Kibunge, and I thought Damonde blocked that.
Unfortunately, it
there was a gap between him and Doita did not jump to block.
He anticipated it to be
used that
a three-man block.
1 point ahead, KDF. Pretty fired up. thought that was a net touch. Yes. From the KPA side, there's still a problem with the reception, if you ask me, on the KPA side. And it's Kevin Kipchumba there. And I think KDF have noted that challenge and are making use of it. Maxwell spins it in, Kipchumba picks it, Monde, Maxwell again, and then Kibunge. Kipchumba still picks it. That's from coming up at a beautiful rally. Chris Hohala stopped there by the one-man block. That is Kelvin Omuse for KDF. Sam Juma trying really hard to still pick that ball up. It was too late.
Now that is
the
Toyota we know. The Toyota
experience,
we know.
Right?
Very, very well experienced. Fortunately, it's not quite working for him today. I don't know.
Well, you see, it has to be. It takes a team.
Takes a team to win. It does take a team to win.
Toyota with that service. Nick and then Maxwell. Oh no, blocking department for KDF today.
Basically, all the departments are not working. Everything is staggering.
Brian Kamonde is really good with his blocks. He's tall, he overlaps, but then again, it takes a team.
It takes a team.
Whoever he pairs with
team
in front there has to be someone who can help with that. Muse there with that block out. It's Kamonde who is going to serve. Change. KPA replacing Lemoy. Lemoy there goes out and is replaced by Zeki Ochieng. I think the formation there, they have to think about defending it. Wala goes for it. Muse picks it. The libero there somewhere. Muse goes in. Hard, and of course it's a touch out off the hands of Kipchumba Kevin. Chuli goes to serve for his KDF side. They are now 3 points ahead.
3 points ahead, which are really difficult to catch up when you let your opponent keep that margin. It's difficult because should you employ the formula of getting a point 1-for-1, still you will not catch up. And that margin broadens to 15-11.
And there's a lot of disorganization in the KPA camp. You see Doita coming in and distracting Kevin Kipchumba there. Now they go out on that timeout. There's no worry.
The KDF coach, Lisha Aliwa, who is also formerly a national team player, setter, seeming very confident about his team's performance today and probably telling them that you need to be careful. Nonetheless, you're leading, but be careful. Anything can happen. Mulinge, I'm sure, is not a happy man today.
He's been forced by circumstances to play these matches because yesterday they sort of tried to sit on the fence, of course, regarding whether or not they were allowed to field the players. But accordingly, it seems that all the team managers agreed at the beginning of the season that they will not field players who've played in other leagues. So whether or not they were going to play it today or yesterday, like the match between them and GSU, they still would have played it, and again, without those players.
Without those players.
I think they've just decided, let's just go on with it. And therefore it means that they are compromising their position in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, yeah, it's going to take a miracle for them to qualify this time round. Kelly having a field day at the block lineup in front there.
With his height, of course, you know, he has quite some advantage.
And he does know the level of play of the attackers from the opponent side, so he knows what to expect.
And now they also are aware of the new faces in the team, and they are really making use of them, either by serving to them or when they are blocking, they just use that touch-out trick that we saw John Kehanya of Kenya Forest yesterday using.
And it did work for him. It
really worked for him, but it wasn't sufficient
to assure him of a win.
Assure them of any win. Kibungai there going pretty hard on reinforce the blocks there. They actually attacked it through the hands of Bosire there.
They probably anticipated that the center attacker would attack that ball, but it was a formation by the setter KDF to split those blocks, and it worked for them.
Being really tactical, like we said. And Bosire tries a similar thing, Maxwell setting that ball and then keeping there, looking for that touch out of the hands of Ochieng, the new face, coming in there. And now they're literally running away with this set.
They are, and confident with the smiles on their faces, knowing
they know they're writing history.
The KPA anyway, that they know is a wounded lion.
It's always been a 3-0 wash down, really.
And the first one, a very quick one.
So this one is going to be the first for KDF. They are returning the favor with interest.
With interest.
They are going to be returning the favor with interest. KDF against the port side, who are playing, of course, without two of their players who just come back from their international stints across the world. Kelvin Kipchumba there with that brilliant jump service, and in that formation, Josephat Karanja stabilized that ball from the setter, Nick Kimtai.
Unfortunately, I think it was a case of slippery. The ball is a bit slippery with a wet coat around, so it's expected. Challenges. The ball did not cross.
Yeah, that
did
was
not
like
cross.
Or something. He doesn't agree with the referees. Sara Namisi was saying go KDF. DK Chumba sema mko imara viwanjani. Nataka GSU. Do not ask for what you cannot be able to carry. And that time will come for sure. So just look at the schedule for the next leg, or even the 6th. But
and even the
surely
6th,
come.
definitely. It will come sooner or later.
When it comes, I hope you'll be able to say the same, right?
Yes, I hope you will. Unfortunately, you'll not be witnessing the same next week. We don't have the services of GSU in the Paul Bitok International Tournament. They lost to Kenya Prisons. So that match, which we would have hoped would come in earlier than expected, will not be happening.
Yeah, well, there is getting quite windy, and there are a lot of pretty cloudy as well. We hope that it will still maintain the calm before the match ends, so that we at least can play this match to its very end. As it stands, well, there's a change there for KDF. Josephat Karanja steps out and is replaced there on court for service by jersey number 8, and he serves really nicely, Mika Lagat, also commonly known as Chebitet. On court, Kevin Kipchumba with that poor reception there. Oh, KP also made a change, replaced Lilo with Titus.
Probably bringing in a more formidable front court defense.
Yes, I think that is the thinking. That ball goes out of court. Seems
there was a touch out.
Court, but the referee says there was a touch out.
Well, it's
certain wherever they are, the fans and even the bench there for KPA, they're really praying that the weather
favors them. If it does rain, indeed, it's going to favor them.
They are being, beaten mercilessly. They really are the mercy of these guys now.
They really are the mercy.
Now, depending on the mistakes, they're not really like earning those points from actual play, but it's off the mistakes of KDF. Maxwell, that ball goes out of court. They're coming back now. 4 points, I think. Is it 5 still? still in play. And Doita is still with the service, and KDF go out on that technical timeout.
Pamela in the comment section saying it should rain. Actually, I believe you're a staunch fan of KPA. You need the rain. It's really supposed to rain. Well, again, we'll let nature take its course.
Well, if it rains, then you know that they will have to wait for another day to play this match. I can see another team from, I think, Reasons preparing for yet another match. We will let you know how that goes. And the match between GSU and Nairobi Prisons, the first set went to GSU, winning 25-13. Very beautiful block there by Brian Gamonde, and it's now 1 point between the two teams. KPA seem to be pulling a comeback here.
Well, Mudoka is wondering if this is the KPA that you used to see shining. Unfortunately, they have a wound right now. They have lost a couple of their players to Kenya Forest Rangers, who have gotten employment. We thank God for that. And also some dependable players who've gone out to play for professional and are back and are not allowed, according to the rules, to play the National League until the next season. So yes, this is KPA. Unfortunately, the players are not the same. But we give...
There's a net touch there.
Apparently, it's Gamonde who has touched the net, bringing
Sanchez
the scores to 22-20.
Kevin Miner, you're saying you're wishing KPA the very best, that if they fight, there is still game here. Can only hope so. Owala goes up for that. Maxwell still picks it up. Nick Kimtai.
It's a chance ball. It's a chance ball.
And it's still Owala. And he gets that touch. Gladys Ekaru also in support of the KPA side. You're cheering them on. They have pulled quite a comeback from 6 points difference.
They were trailing by 6 points, and it seems that they've decided to fight nonetheless.
Lamonde there with the service, and the team that is praying for the rain. We wait and see
whether your prayers are going to be answered.
Oh no.
33-21.
In the hands of Chris Owala there and Ochieng, the new face for KPA. I think Kim Tai there, the setter for KDF, had to play with to play that wittingly a bit. Another change, Karanja comes back to replace Lagat there. Of course, they have to think about the blocking defense, and another change for service. It is Chimanyi, who is the captain for KDF, who's coming to serve. You can see the coaches there having a conversation with their players, their respective players. Coach Mulingi, of course, having a conversation with the experienced guys there, including Doita, to step up for their side.
The scores margin looking quite promising, 22-23, not quite a huge gap. Probably Aliwa getting worried that they're going to catch up, and if they do take this set, then believe me, it's game on. It's game on. They would have shocked themselves into realization that you can actually do this without our dependable players.
Well, they can. They have a lot of fight in them, these guys. They have experience in the setting department, and also the left court there, Wala. Wow. Quite a beautiful, beautiful one there.
A very beautiful attack from Owala, equalizing the scores to 23-23.
Now whoever goes to serve, which I think is Owala himself, he has to ensure that he does not make any error there. Otherwise, he'll have given away the set point again.
They will also require to have a strong front court defense
Goes to jump, but it's just a spin. Oh, and
It was
they
tactical.
get to
It was a tactical
Tito there
spin.
stepping up.
Trying maybe
That
to disrupt
over-reception
the
there.
attack. He was trying to disrupt the attack line for KDF, and it worked really well.
And that collision between Kibungei and Maxwell there. Of course, with that over reception there, Titans saw it, went up really high, and did what needed to be done there.
And it's a set point for KPA. Quite refreshing to see James Ontere, a former player also for the national team, cheering on and gearing up the boys to let them know that you can actually do this, you can do whatever you put your mind to. We wait to see whether KPA will take this. The confidence in the faces of KDF having disappeared. And let's wait and see. Let's wait and see.
Yeah, it's an interesting turn of events here. And it's a beautiful turn of events really, because we wouldn't want this match to end here. Already, Kibungei is left alone, of course, because of the witty setting by Nick Kimtai there. Maxwell there was almost making another error in reception, but also on the side of KPA, they were not able to block really well. Chiang there, the newcomer, and it's 24 all.
The scores move to 26. The first one to get to 26 takes the set. We wait and see. Good set.
Really beautiful pipe there, played by Chris Owala. Again, really interesting to see that setting as well. Josephat Karanja was already on the ground, and so that middle block had a gap. We do another change there. Jeff Jeffries goes out, and Kevin Kipchumba comes back to serve. This is theirs for the winning, KPA.
It is theirs for the taking.
Just nice serve and proper defense. Will it cross the net? It does. That ball is
still in play.
Later.
And it's
it
a point.
Of course it is a point. KP are back on this in this game, right?
Yes, they are back on this. But you
this
have to give it to the KDF setter. He tried hard to deflect that ball, get it to land, but the backward defense for Team KPA, we are seeing the coaches now smiling. It was gloomy faces all through the first set, but right now everyone is happy. We have a chance, or rather they say they have a chance of taking this set, or rather taking the game itself. I'm sure Aliwa is rather worried, a very worried man out there, the confidence being shaken a bit, the need for the boys to work extra hard.
Pamela Omolo is now happy. She's no longer praying for the rain. She's happy that KPA have won that other set. Josephine Ndila, you are wow. Hipkorir Victor, you're saying nice comeback from KPA. Willy Waire, unasema wanabandari uko nyuma yao tangu jadi na hata hadi milele. So it's hand in hand with the set there. Gladys Ekaru, good fight KPA. Caroline Jockey, you're saying this is a real show, may the best team win. Donald Okula, also congratulating KPA. We are going to give you the match statistics shortly for that particular set. Kevin Miner saying the fight continues and that is a good comeback. Even if it rains now, at least everyone has a set, so
it's balanced. It's balanced. Nobody would say that the rain has favored them.
Yep. And here are the set stats. Of course, 26-24 in favor of KPA. Points earned from attacks, 18 from KPA and 15 for KDF. Just 1 point off the blocks for KPA and 3 for KDF. There's no service errors on either side. KPA have garnered more points from the opponent errors. That is 7 and 6 for KDF. So continue engaging us there on the YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe, and we'll remember to also engage you. Of course, in the coming set, we'll let you know how you can win our new hoodies.
Yes,
so
yes.
just stay tuned, and we'll be back after this short break. If you thought that this match was already decided at the end of the first set,
Think again.
think again.
Think again.
If you thought that KPA were written off because they do not have two of their most dependable players, think again.
A lot of surprises on this particular match, especially the second set. Got to a point that the coach Kdf Aliwa was confident enough to bring in a couple of players probably to give them a feel of the game, assuming that KPA was written off, but they showed them that we are here. We might be sleeping, but we might be lying down, but you're definitely not dead, only sleeping. The score KPA leading 3-2.
No, actually, I think there's a difference in that scoreline. We are going to update you now. It's 4-ups. Kevin Kipchumba there hitting the net. I think he wanted to go in deep. Ross Mudhoni, you're saying all the best KDF. Caroline Kasiba, all the best KDF. Patrick Otieno watching live from Kehancha in Migori County. Asante sana. Ouko Jonso, which boys are you cheering on? Lois Tarus, Sema Sawa Bas. Benedict Juma, nice game KPA. Pamela Masai side, that was excellent for the KPA side. Asanteni sana kwa kuungana nasi. Let us know where you're watching from and which team you're rooting for. Chris Owala with that jump service. Oh, and it is poorly received by Maxwell there, and therefore that is an S for Owala. I think that's the first that we are seeing in this game.
Owala slowly building momentum from the start of the first set. He was a bit low. Second set he pulled up a bit, and right now he seems to have settled in to the game. Like maybe we had anticipated it was a case of nerves and fear and worry, but that seems to be disappearing as the game progresses. Well, KPA still maintaining the lead at 6-5, and the service. We wait to see whether that would be a point or not.
Yeah, of course, it's a jump service again. KDF have also gotten their jump server in court. Maxwell picks it up. Lilo there going for it. And then Kipchumba is left alone. And of course, he earns that point pretty easily. Samuel Morioki, you're saying you're watching from Isiolo and you're wishing KPA the very best. Same to Helen Wantai, you're wishing KDF, your team, the very best. Willie Wiley, you're saying KPA walk now. Clearly, they are now leading with 2 points. Pamela Masaisai, you're lying to us. You're saying you're watching this from London. Otieno there for KPA with that one-man block.
A very good block.
That's a beautiful block there against Josephat Karanja of KDF. Just a solo block there. Michael Wanjala, you're watching live from Bungoma. You're saying you're not seeing Chebitet. He came in at some point to serve. I think he'll be brought back any time now or later in the game. It is Kibungei. It was almost a one-man block by Bosire there, but it goes out of play. Really beautiful formation with the blocking line there. Rotich, environmental scientist, you're wishing KDF the very best. Kibungei goes to serve. Nicely picked up by Sam Juma there. Nice finish by Ochieng. Oh, Kibungei again. Straight from service and comes in to play that pipe. Of course, that also speaks to the wit of Nick Kimtai, his setter there. Jepish, unasema mmeamka sasa na tumai unazungumzia KPM. Bila shaka KPA wamerudi kwenye hii mechi. Another nice service. That miscommunication again being evident there. It is still in play. Kibungei jumps in there to kill it. I think Zoita needs to defend better.
He does,
because he just stood there and looked at the backcourt guys.
It's also important to note that KDF are using their front block very well, trying as much as possible to have a touch of every attack that is coming from KPA. That will, in a way, ease the strength of that attack, making it easier for the backcourt defense to pick the ball and then capitalizing it by killing it instantly.
Patrick Kilele, you're saying you're watching from Mutoma in Kitui County. Tony Sanchez, you're watching from Canada and you're wishing KPA the very best. Gakonyi as well, you're saying you're watching from Kasarani. That ball went out of court, but the referee thinks that there was a net touch.
Well, KDF seems to have equalized the scores 9-all right now.
Of course, we have Nelson Bitok now with a service for KDF. It is the first time that he's coming on court. It's Doita there, and he gets a touch out because of the hands of Bitok, who's just done that service there. Wechuli and the setter there could not defend that, and Bosira goes to serve. It goes out of play. These
Second
mistakes
service,
are
out of
costly,
in one
really
set,
costly.
Really costly, considering
10
one
points each.
of the most dependable servers for that team. Well, that is really a blow to the team.
Nick Kimtai with that service. It's a jump float. Kevin Kipchumba picks it, and now Doita with that touch out.
Was it really a touch out? Seems to have gone outside.
We wait and see.
Wait and see.
I thought I saw the flag there go up. Oh, it is
out outside. It's out of play.
Brian Gamonde playing really well there, defending in that middle department. Thoita going to serve. There's another change, bringing back Titus there to replace Bosire. Toita with a service for KPA. Oh, he picks it up with his leg actually.
It's a free ball.
Sam Juma picks it nicely.
Juma.
It is Chris Owala,
And it doesn't
and it
seem
just
to
goes
be
over the tip and goes out.
sufficient. Well, an interesting pick there by
Nick Kimtai.
Nick Kimtai of KDF. You can play with whatever part of your body as long as you do not touch the ball 2 consecutive times. Well, you're good to go.
Brian Gamonde. That ball is still in play. Of course, the jump server for KDF is Collins Muya. Tried blocking Gamonde there, but he couldn't. And now they serve. Gamonde with a service. That ball goes out of play. Ah man, these mistakes are going to cost these guys.
They really are going to cost them. Caroline Joki anasema this may be going to the 5th set.
Well, it seems like so. Bernard Wichuli with a service for KDF. Is it a net serve? No, it's perfect. Maxwell picks it up. Kibunge goes for it. And it is out of play. But it seems like there was a touch out. The coach there raising his arms in protest. Wichuli still with a service. KDF are 1 point ahead. Toita picks it. Voila! That ball comes back, bounces off the hands of Kibunge there. And now it is 15 actually. They are now 3 points ahead, KDF. Again, Chieng there is blocked. They have a really good formation there, KDF.
A timeout for KPA, very timely considering what is happening on court. Seems to have been some miscommunication, some disconnect, some form of loss of concentration in this particular set. Looking at the set scores, looking at the scores for this set, 16-12. That is a 4-point lead for KDF. Very dangerous, very dangerous. For KPA, they had settled in, but something seems to be off.
Was
KDF,
it the substitution that they did?
Could be
probably
the substitution.
Because Bosiri had sort of settled in there. I was hoping that they would do that change for the blocking department when Bosiri was in the front court, but they brought in Titus nonetheless. Titus Kibet. It is Wechuli with the service again. Titus Kibet trusts that Kipchumba will do the job. Doita picks it up. It will be Doita now. And it is blocked, of course, by Bitok there in the middle. Kibunge on the left side. This is beautiful volleyball being played here. They are now 5 points ahead. Again, running away with this set, KDF. But we saw a comeback from the KPA side in the first set. So we wait to see if they will come back as well. Kevin Kipchumba gets that touch out of the hands of Muya there. Look at that. Look at that.
Very confident with that blockout attempt. He really aimed for the last hand on that left side of the court, and it worked well for him. Chris Owala
with the service. I think they made that change between Bosiri and Titus Kibet because of the service errors. Because those 2 service errors by Bosiri, the third one now from Chris Owala here.
Chris Owala
not helping
quite
the situation
on this particular set. He's been off throughout the attacks and also, as you just seen, the service.
And considering the fact that you know, the likes of Kamara cannot play. He needs to pull up his socks
He does need to pull
and
up
play,
his socks.
right? You see Muya doing the easy thing there. Just, oh, there's a net touch. There is a net touch.
And a smart move by Toita right there. You don't always expect to get points by attack, and they anticipated attacks. So him having dodged that ball was completely caught KDF off guard. That's why it was such an easy point.
They have sent really tall guys there to block.
Another service.
Kevin Kipchumba, another service to the net. Can't they just
bringing
float
it to
this
4
ball?
services?
Yeah, because now you have a really good blocking line there with Bitok, Kimtai, and Maxwell there. Kevin Kipchumba picks it up. Chris Owala goes for that pipe. Nick Kimtai. Kibunge spins it. Who will it be? It is Doita. And there's no one there to defend it.
Doita again opting to use the
experience
smarter
there
point.
coming in.
The smarter move by dodging that ball. They all expect him to attack. He's been known to be a very strong, powerful attacker. So for him to change tact when it's necessary, it really goes a long way. Frederick Miruri coming in. He's been a regular as a libero for this team, but
now he's come to
the
defend.
circumstances have forced him to play a different position this time round.
Lemoy, they are going to serve. Will he serve it nicely? You know, that is just a simple placement. It still earns you the point.
As
What
long
happened?
as it's across
Oh,
the
it's
net.
still a point.
It's an
Yeah,
easy
Kibunge
ball.
again trying it. Will it happen? Yes, it
This time
does.
round he gives it back.
Again, Toita pulling back instead of going to defend.
I think
Leaving
also it
Gamonde
depends
alone.
on,
Look at that. And it's just the same move.
I think the
same
setter
move.
is witty. The setter is very witty. You can never tell where he's going to place that ball.
Oh,
So
well.
that gives an advantage for the attacker, because now you have less hands in the air.
Bitok goes for that service. Moyori picks it, and then Zoita goes to kill it. What happens? And the match between GSU and Nairobi Prisons is over. GSU win it 3-0, 25-13 for the first set, 25-20 the second set, and 25-10 for the final set there. So
quite a margin, right?
3-0 in favor of GSU. And in this case, 7 points between the two teams. KPA, of course, trailing at 15 points, and KDF at 22 points. That is a timeout there. Have a look at the bench, the KPA bench there, and
a lot of gloomy
there's nothing
faces,
to smile about.
Very gloomy faces out there.
Yeah,
Probably
Kamara
Kamara
is
wishing
just
he was on court.
looking at the floor there and wondering
It does hurt
what
a
is
player when
happening.
there's something you can do, but unfortunately
Even
you
the
cannot
coach
do anything.
himself, right?
Coach looking
Um,
disturbed there. Probably they had expected this, but not this bad.
You know, you do not come to a match expecting that you will lose,
True, very
right?
true.
Everyone comes here knowing that they are going to win it. While they are going for the kill, there's a net touch there by Maxwell. I think Bitong moved out of the way, thinking that it was going to go out. And it is actually still in play. It was in the court. Titus Kibet with that service. They're going to make a change to bring in Jeffrey Jeff in place of Thoita. I think you have seen the gap that happens there when they are blocking and Thoita just stands there. And so I think the coach has decided to
Make a change, but
make that
you can never
change.
change. You can never know who is going to be your lucky player. So you
Titus
play
Kibet with
as
that
much as you
service. Samuel picks it up. Kibunge, of course, having a field day today. He's having fun, this
can.
guy.
He's basically untamable in this particular match.
Again, that gap between Awala and Gamonde, making it easy for Kibunge to earn that. Moirori picks it nicely. It is Awala, goes in hard, and he is able to earn that point off the hands of that blocking defense there. Muya and Wechuli and Nick Kimtai could not pick it up because of the speed with which that ball was flying. Doita is coming back for Jeffrey Jeff. It's experience here that
It's
is needed.
experience coming into play, but again,
17-23, that's going to take a miracle.
it will take a minute. 6 points is a lot of points, and I don't know whether they have it in them to pull that up, considering how they've been playing this particular set and just basically the match. They've not been settled.
Maxwell picks it up. Wechuli goes for it. It doesn't.
play.
Well, the coach thinks believes it did. It didn't cross the line. They are still able to earn that point. KPM. Reuter still with a service. Samoy picks it up really nicely. Muya tries to go for it, and it goes out of play. It's 19-23.
19-23.
KDF have thought about a timeout now because KP are closing in. Msingozi anasema KPA itaonea playoffs biu sasa. Caroline Njoki are saying from Garden Estate, unaona hii imeenda. Looking forward to the fourth set. Simon Kibbs, you are watching from Tunis. May the best team win. Asante sana kwa kuungana nasi. Patrick Otieno anasema kimeumana. Well. Kiplimo Chirchir, thank you for that correction. You're saying you're watching live from Prague. Another service there. Maxwell picks it up and he goes to kill, but Chris Owala there is excited about being able to stop that attack from Maxwell on his own.
And it was a one-man block.
It's a one-man block, yeah.
Yes, a one-man block. He had all the space to position that ball in a way that it could not have been blocked, but Chris Owala was too good.
Yep. Kelvin Omuse comes back to replace Muya there for KDF. It's only 1 point, well, rather 2 points to the end of the match, and now they need this. Oh, there's an issue with that setting because of the way it was received, and KPA draw even closer.
KPA seeming to
moving in such a beautiful way. KPA, just like the waves down at sea.
Down at sea at the coast.
Jackson Washira, you're saying KPA kuna vile KVF inawafinyilia. Well, I doubt it. Tony Sanchez, you're saying it's not over until it's over for certain. That's what we keep saying here, right? It just takes whoever is going to maximize on the errors of the other side to finish this. KDF 23, KPA 21. Jose Murunga, you're saying you're watching from Kasarani. You're saying, why is UN not playing? UN is which team?
And unfortunately for KPA, it's a set point for KDF, 24-21.
Yeah, that ball goes out of court.
That timeout.
Robert Ouko, you're saying Owala is the man to watch in this match. You can bet with your kidney. Well, you wouldn't want to risk your life, eh? Kibunge is blocked, of course, by Gamonde there. Kevin Minor, until the last whistle goes, there is no surrender. Of course, Joel Korir. Will there be a next match? Probably in the other court that GSU are playing at. It is going to be Prisons Western versus Vihiga. I think that is the match that is going to be played next.
And I think it's the final match of the day.
It is the final match of the day because for the most part of today it was raining. And also because there are other teams like Prisons Mombasa, Prisons Central, who else? Prisons Rift Valley,
that
who
did not
show up.
Yes, they did not honor their matches
Kibunge there plays that ball out of court, and it's 23-24.
Well, anything is possible at this point. Things looking good for KPA. Probably they were wishing they would have done better from the start of this particular set. It would have helped them quite a bit given the score margins and the number of scores they've gained back to back.
John Langat, you're watching from Kampala. Asante sana. And the set, I think, is... Oh, yeah, the set is over.
The set is over.
Kdf win it, 25-23. Melanie Odire, it is over now, at least for now. That particular set is over. But we are going to the next set. The fourth set now. It's 2-1. The first set, of course, went to KDF, 25-22, and then 26-24 in favor of KPA. Something similar, almost repeating itself here with a 25-23 in favor of KDF, and so it's 25 points for 25 KDF, 23 KPA, and so KDF have 2 sets, while KPA has 1. Emma J, you're watching from Wilson Airport. Asante sana. Kim, you're congratulating KDF and wishing them the very best in the next set. You're watching live from Eldoret City. Asante sana kwa kuungana nasi. These are the match statistics. Florence?
Well, the match statistics stand at KDF 2 sets against 1 KPA. Set points was at 26-24. The KPA tried to put up a fight, trying to take this particular set, but unfortunately they did not take it. While the attack statistics stand at 10 for KPA and 9 for KDF. Blocks are 4 for KDF and 3 for KPA, quite close. Each team had an ace service, 1 each. And opponent's error stand at KDF had 11 and KPA 9. KPA having a lot of errors on their side, giving 3 points to KDF, as you see at the statistics. But again, the game is still young. It is still young.
It is still young. Benedict Juma unasema congratulations KDF, you're watching from Runda. Robert Ouko unasema KPA must win. Ama tutaenda maandamano. Interesting. Well, we saw them come back to win the other set. So let's see if is it an issue of the winning side?
I think it's an
that is a theory that you have used before.
Well,
I don't know
if
if
it's
the same in this
definitely
case.
Not. It may be an issue of consistency. KPA seem to lack consistency. They might start good, lose concentration at one point of the set, then maybe pick up when they realize that our opponents are running with this set.
Yep.
Or it could be a case of a lot of changes, as some of our viewers have noted, a lot of changes that are going on within a set. You want to give a player time to settle into the set, into the pitch, gain some form of coordination and bonding with the rest of the players in order for the game to flow. You keep changing, then the pattern keeps changing, and a lot of confusion, if you ask me.
Oh, well, yeah, keep it here. Keep it TVC YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you are notified of when we have any other live. We'll be back shortly for the fourth set. Okay, we are going to, I'm notified that the commercial that we had will play after this set or in the middle of when there are those timeouts. So as it starts, the match is at 2-1 in favor of KDF. They seem confident in this, but also KPA have proven to have that fighting spirit in them, considering the fact that they have been able to pull comebacks. And so let us have a look at how this set is going to be. Kelvin Omuse sends that ball out of court, but there is a net touch by the KPA blocking defense there. I think Doita or Gamonde with his left hand there touched that net.
KDF starts off on a good side right now with 1 point ahead of KPA. Good service right there. Toita receives, Gamonde sets, Toita attempts to fix it, and it's a
Well,
point.
he fixes
It's
it nicely.
1-1.
Yeah.
You want to have a play like a player who is well versed with the game. Those are the characteristics of players who are, I would say, have grasped the game well enough to know to correct mistakes of the other team players. It's a team sport, so you want to make as little mistakes as possible.
Kelvin Amuse there using his height, even after hitting that ball off the hands of Kipchumba there. He's still looking at him like, we are the boys. I think it's quite unfair.
Very unfair. But
there's an interesting conversation that is going on in the comments section. The same Kipchumba has used the hands of Kibungei there, and he gets a block out. So Charles is talking about the issue of improving, having more prize money for the clubs at the end of each season, and that is a call to the federation. And of course, just the whole aspect about improving the sport. He's saying they should charge for league matches to generate extra revenue for the game and ensure that the revenue goes into improving the sport. Definitely really good sentiments there.
I think
Kipchumba again with another touch out of the hands of Kibungei there. What do you think about what Charles is saying there?
I think that's a very good observation from Charles, given that teams pay affiliation fee every time they want to participate in the National League. You want to see some form of revenue for the players, especially players who sacrifice time and energy. It's really tiring, and both mentally and physically, when you're training for such games. For a player to be as good as they are, they need a lot of work that is put into preparation. So you want to have something at the end of that, some form of end of the year package, so to speak. You
End
want
of the season,
it goes into motivating players to play even better, for competition to become hard, because when you see something in line, should you win or not win these matches, then you're bound to work harder, you're bound to give opportunities to more players, and basically make the game more interesting. As it stands right now, the winner of the National League only gets to qualify for the Africa Club Championship, I believe, the first 3 teams. Beyond that, I think you just take home the trophies. While this might be good for the employers to prove that whatever you're giving us time or investing money in is actually bearing fruits. For the players, there's nothing really much to write home about.
Yeah, there's no value at the end of it. And all the competition, really, all the fighting, all the sweat, you do not feel a sense of fulfillment at the end of the season. So yeah, I agree with those sentiments, Charles, and we wait to see what the federation is going to do. Of course, as Trailblazers, we are trying our best to see how we can contribute to the improvement that we want to see in the sport by enabling you to watch this sport from whichever part of the country and whichever part of the world that you're in, and also in crucially again showcasing the talent that we have locally to potential scouts, potential teams, potential clubs out there in the world. So we're just doing our part, of course, in collaboration with Mafro Sports and Trailblazers Volleyball Club, and we hope that the other teams can also do their part, but most importantly the federation.
And speaking of change, the Kenya Volleyball Federation elections are coming up on 28th, 29th of this month.
Yep,
we are hoping
next week.
Yes, next week. We are hoping for some form of change in the way the running of the federation has been done in the past, both in the representation by the national team and also the clubs. We want to see on matters, especially infrastructure, whatever we are dealing with right now, the games having to be played outside because of lack of facilities. We hope the person who's going to get that opportunity will change that and even better the lives of these players who sacrifice a lot, not just talent, even time, to come and play and entertain us and basically put Kenya on the map when it comes to volleyball. We have achieved a lot in volleyball as a sport in the past, thanks to the late Waithaka Kioni, who has gone out of his way to build talent, to facilitate the national team to participate in competition that we would have only dreamed of in the past. So we need especially a change on the Wafalme Stars, who have been put on the side quite for some time right now, hoping that the boy child will be remembered.
Well, because if you look at Malkia strikers, they are better off in away, right? But
indeed they
even
are.
beyond that, we want to also see the participation of more clubs, right, in these tournaments, because, or in the league for that matter. It's good that, you know, they've initiated Division 2 and all. But if you look at the composition of the teams in these, in especially the first division, the National League, it's majorly the forces, the security forces.
Yes, a big chunk of the clubs that are represented are in the forces. It also is contributed by the fact that the forces offer employments for these players. When you're employed and you play this game knowing that you have your bread and butter at the end of the month, then it goes a long way. It is an enticement for the players to join these clubs and basically make a life for themselves. We also commend Kenya Pipeline, which took a step and gave employment to some of its players. We're yet to see KCB do the same, but again, the club is well taken care of.
And even Equity as well on the other end.
And the new girls in the block, poster team, the ladies side that joined the league this season. Looking forward to see more teams coming on board.
Yeah, we hope that they can get encouragement and to be able to come to the league, and also even other privately organized teams, so that we can have enough competition.
Yes.
Now KDF are running away with this set, and if this continues, if they can continue maintaining that gap, then we are going to have a 3-1 win for them here. Bosire is back on court. Titus Kibet has stepped out. And Nick Kimtai with that service. Chumba tries receiving it. Oh wow, quite a save there from Nick Kimtai. Samoei picks it.
And there's a net touch. There's a net touch
there. Or Kelvin Omuse. Let's just have a replay there.
Well, a very interesting observation here by Robert Ouko. KPA lost that set because bei ya unga iko juu. Well, hii bei ya unga ina affect kila mtu, if I'm not wrong. So everyone is buying this unga at the same price. So it's not cheap for one person and expensive for the other. Really echoing the sentiments from Charles and telling us of the need for the improvements in the standards of local volleyball and the ability to sustain themselves in the top tier volleyball. We want an improvement in the performance of volleyball in the country. That is the only way that we'll get more opportunities, even for our players to go pro.
Exactly.
We want, and if you go pro, that means that you'll get something that you're going to invest back into the country. We have seen players like James Ontere who have gone, NYAYO Philip who have played very well on the international sides. So yeah, a lot of improvement needed.
Well, I hope that we can be able to see that, and the fact that we also have Division 2 now means that if you do not play well enough in the first division, you go back. And also for the teams that are in Division 2, they have the ability to come to Division 1.
Yes.
And it also will encourage those teams in the grassroots, the counties, to, you know, improve and also get into Division 2. Yes. I am sure now we have like 6 teams in Division 2. I am certain that the next season we'll have more, because that means that opportunities have been created, and I'm happy of the fact that some of these clubs are now hiring, right?
Yes,
because if you're employing people, it means that there is a gap that they have left and another one will fill it. If you've picked someone from, say, KPA, they will be challenged to also employ other people Yeah, because
Yes.
you do not want your players to be taken by another team after
Yes,
you've trained them.
yes. There's
Yeah.
going to be
So it's
some
going to
pressure
challenge,
from
yeah.
other teams to employ the teams that are yet to make that steps.
And
of
that is
giving-
for the good of volleyball. That's
It is for the
such
good of
a
volleyball.
beautiful
We want
block.
to see people make a life from this game.
Exactly. And it's all for the good of this game that we all love.
Well, the scores seem to
We're
have
truly there with a service for KDF.
and it serves
And it
out.
serves out of play.
There's something about this side of court. Everyone seems to be mad about serving outside. And
Now there's only 1 point difference. We see if they're going to be able to win this set, KPA, and take this to the maximum number of sets that need to be played in any game. Kibungei there stretching really. Doita going in hard, that they were, they brought that back. Owala using that block out technique that we saw John, of course, employ there. John from Kenya Forest, and now they're at par.
a big
Kevin
improvement by
Kipchumba
KPA. That margin is
Still
rather
with the
big.
service. They had better maintained either going at par or
Taking
have
the
to
lead.
take the lead again. Oh, it is back.
Whoa!
And that will cost them.
We did
Chiang
not
there
anticipate
tried
that.
to go in really quick to dunk that ball there.
Probably did not jump high enough, or he tried to dunk it too close to the net,
Yep.
that he ended up putting it right on the net.
Or
Sam
Muse.
Juma telling the team, relax.
I like
part
the
of
way
the game.
he understands his space.
It comes with the territory. I
Yeah,
must say.
he
It
really
does come with
understands
the
his
territory.
space and sort of masters his territory, like you're saying.
He needs to do that, otherwise the backward defense is going to burn, if so to speak, because without backward defense, then you have no business playing, because there's no reception, there is no retrieving of balls that are coming in very powerful from KDF.
Chiang with that beautiful finish there, granting KPA another serving chance. And Wala goes there. Sam Juma picks it up.
Bosire.
And Bosire goes for the kill. It
it's
goes out of play,
outside,
but
it is
that was quite
outside.
interesting to see those roles reversed. With Doita there going in for that service. I think Bosire was looking for that blockout by Bitok there, but he couldn't find it. Such a beautiful attempt there. Again, Sam Juma mastering his territory there, and asking everyone else to go out of his territory.
The ball is
it
still in
still
play, while
there
it seems to have touched the ground. And
is that ball?
is it a point for KDF? Seemingly it's a point for KDF. Could there have been a net touch? Maybe.
Well, we are yet to see that, and KPA called for that timeout there. We'll have a look at the replay there to understand what happened.
Well, Benny King is watching from Taiwan. Asante sana Benny King for joining us. Thank you also, Charles, for the sentiments that big up Trailblazers for your efforts in showing how to run a team professionally. Yes, we do have a couple of professional players on the Trailblazers side. A couple of internationals, 3 to be exact. We have David Neke, we have
Julian
Mbappe
Mbappe
and
Jean-Claude Masezerano.
yes, we take pride in giving opportunities to talent.
Yep, and also, oh, what happened? Chris Owala with that pipe there, but ball goes out of play. It's going to be picked from the fans who are seated watching this match at the NYAYO Stadium. Of course, we are playing in the outdoor court. Actually, the second outdoor court, because the other one, I think, Prisons Western and Vihiga are preparing. And in the indoor court, there is a basketball match that is playing.
I think
It's
for Owala,
16-13 now.
Owala has been losing concentration during the middle parts of a set. Like he would start well and lose concentration mid-set, and that would really affect KPA.
There's no one to defend that, and Bitok is really enjoying this now. They have 4 points between the two teams. I think KPA have surrendered to the threat of this loss. I could be wrong. And again, like I usually say, it's not over until it's over. But with the manner in which they are playing now, it appears as though they have given up. Ochieng goes out, replaced by Lemoy. And now it's 3 points between the two teams. Who is that who's going to serve? Brian Gamonde comes back to defend. Lemoy himself goes to serve there.
KPA trying to find a way of making things right, because things are not working well. Oh, lucky serve right there.
That one is a lucky one.
A very lucky serve right there.
2 points between the two teams now. Lemoy with that very lucky serve there. That one doesn't happen often. Lemoy again. Maxwell. Who is it? It is Kelvin Omuse. It is picked up, and then Thoita. Oh, you're giving it to the hands of Bitok. He will kill you with it. Does he do it? Yes, he does.
Do it, and falls down in the process, as we've just seen.
It tells you there's a lot of power. You do not want to put it in the hands of... that is actually a very easy point to give away. KPA. Bitok himself goes to serve. Thoita picks it. Who is it? Is it Owala? It is Thoita again. It is still in play. Thoita picks it up.
Owala.
And then Owala. Maxwell. Is it a block out? It is still in play. And there is somebody, I think, crosses the line.
It does cross the middle line.
Oh, it actually went out of the antenna there.
Actually, Gamonde seems to have blocked it.
Oh, well, that point
Rather
is
with
for KPA.
using one hand seems to have been a challenge right there. Well, back to your feedback from YouTube. Brian Melly chiming in on the conversation is requesting the federation to put competition for young talents in school, so that they have something like a President's Cup, so that they can have strong generation. I believe that the dynamics between school volleyball and club volleyball are really different. Even in the level of competition, the level of strength, these are kids who are still developing. So if these competitions are going to be put, or rather some program that is going to involve the young players, it will go well in feeding into the young, or rather youth teams that participate in international games for Kenya. That will provide a breeding ground for these players, instead of having to pick players who are not well established and are going to play against teams that are well built. Teams like Egypt. Egypt has a very good program for young players. So does in the recent times we've seen Tunisia, also Morocco coming up with good. We rarely participate in these matches for lack of players. So that is a good observation, Brian made it.
Yep, that was a common ball, and Thoita, who was quite unhappy with that decision, has made it known
clearly
through that attack.
Very clearly.
Yeah, he couldn't agree with the referee about the decision to have that as a common ball, but they eventually win it again. Is it Bosire now with a service?
Well, Bosire with the service.
It's just 2 points between the two teams, really. They can still be able to come back to this match, and he serves it out of court, I think, because of the pressure that we have seen in that disagreement between the two officiating referees. And of course there's a lot of tension, considering the fact that they know that if they lose this set, then the match is gone.
The match is gone.
Yeah. Nick Kimtai with a service. Gamonde picks it, and now it's Thoita. Kevin Omusa picks it. It is set really nicely there by Kibunge, and then Thoita goes in to kill Omuse, and and point goes to
KPA. Seemingly the
KPA
ball
because
touched the ground, and the anticipation by that
oh yeah,
pancake seems to have been challenged. Well, the rule says that when the game is being played outdoor,
yep,
that pancake move is not,
Does not count?
accurate. It does
Okay.
not count. Unless it was an indoor match, then maybe it would have favored them, but unfortunately we are outdoors, so yes, that
Oh.
happened.
quite an easy one there again by Kibunge, who, if you ask me, is the man of the match for KDF.
He is, and most of his powerful attacks are coming from that pipe that has proved very instrumental in giving KDF a lot of points.
Yep. KDF have not yet found a way of containing him. Maxwell there, frustrated by his own mistake. I think I agree with what Charles in the comments is talking about again. The fact that if you create value around a product, then sponsorships are bound to come in. Definitely.
Definitely.
And you're also adding that when you see volleyball playing second fiddle to basketball at the moment, the Basketball Federation have created more value. Of course, even in just in terms of the way they are organized, then you'll just know even just from that they are well organized in this, and thus they even have a lot of sponsors.
And I think that is ironical in this case because basketball actually is the team that has kicked us out of the indoor facility. The games are happening right now, and they seemed to have grabbed that pitch well before us. So yes, you're very right, Charles.
And of course, we are reminded that we also have polo t-shirts that are going at 3,000 shillings. You can order with that number that is there on your screen, so that you also look really nice in our bespoke kits. And we have replica kits, our playing jerseys. The TVC playing kits are also on offer. You can order them also on that line, and we'll get them to you in whichever part of the country that you're in. Back to play. It's only 1 point between the two teams. I was hoping that they would defend that really easily, but they haven't been able to defend that. Lemoy there, leaving that gap for Omuse to kill it. It's 21-19. Lagat there. Somebody was asking for Chebitet. He's back on court for service specifically. Sam Juma there, claiming his territory.
Claiming his territory as he should.
Lagat with the service goes straight to the man who had claimed his territory. And of course, Lemoy goes in hard, plays that ball off the blocks. It's a block out. Jeff with the service. In the other set where he came in also to do this, they won. So
they did won. Maybe it's the lucky stake.
Let us see if that is going to happen.
KPA's camp and
Kibunge with that. That ball did not cross the net.
Did not cross the net. Some excitement.
Yeah.
For
There's
KPA
still hope.
And
There is still hope. It's 21 all.
21 all for
the talk assumed that there was a gap there. I think he was aiming to attack that ball where Bosire goes to jumps up to block, but he miscalculated his move. There is a spin there. Lilo rethinks it, and then it is Doita still in play. It is now Kibunge. It flies out of play. It flies out of play.
And clearly there's a net touch.
And
there is a net touch.
That ball goes out of play. Of course, they cannot agree, but they make another change. KDF sending out Nick Kimutai and bringing in the other setter. His name is Grigory Kiplimo, coming in to replace Nick Kimutai there at a very critical point in this set. We are back after that timeout by KDF. They know that they are at the edge of I thought that point was for KPA.
There was a touch.
There was a net touch.
There was a net touch. There was a net touch.
Mostly with the service. Sam Juma picks it. Lilo goes in. And Lemoy kills it because Bitok couldn't even rise to block that.
The score stand at 22-22.
Yeah, it's
Sam Juma giving all his effort at defending.
The back Chris Owala now, who is to decide whether they are going to win this or not.
And let's face it, his services have not been the most accurate during this.
Titus Kibet is back to block.
Providing
also they have done that change as well. KDF bringing back Nick Kimutai in place of Grigory Kiplimo. That ball did not cross the net again.
Did not cross the net.
Doita
23. KPA take the lead.
For the first time in this set, KPA are leading.
They are leading, and
at
when
a
it
very
counts,
crucial
a very
place.
crucial position.
It was actually blocked by Doita, that ball. I thought it didn't cross the net, but it was blocked. Molinga there having a conversation with his boys. The experienced Doita there leading his team to victory, I hope.
Hopefully to victory. If they take this set, then it's a 5-setter.
Yep.
We
and
wait
it will
and
be worth
see.
it, for sure.
Definitely worth it.
So let's have a look at how this is going to play out. Chris Owala being the decider here. Again with his service, and then the blocking line there with Lamoy, Doita, and Titus Kibet. Chris Owala decides to throw it up. It is an easy spin picked up by Maxwell, and it goes out. Kibunge, I thought it was picked up.
Unfortunately, it was too quick for him to
it was
pick
too
it
quick
up.
for Chris Owala to react. Too deep, too quick. 23 all.
23 all.
Wherever, Mulinge has, removed his cap.
Things are tensed, like
yeah,
we say.
And that tension has been transferred to Kibunge, who does a very costly mistake
at a very
crucial place
in this particular
set. It's a set point to KPA, and really, if Lemoy serves it right and they defend it, now they have Gamonde in front. So Lemoy does his part, the defense part. And it happens. This time it is Titus Kibet for KPA, walking really proudly there, having stopped Maxwell there in his tracks.
Very exciting,
very
exciting
this is going to be a 5-setter. And the fact that it has gotten to this point
means that anyone can
pick it. Anyone can
pick it.
Everyone at this point has 1 point. And Aliwa is not happy at all.
He was sure of a win.
Aliwa is not happy.
Of a win in this particular.
Of course, there was that initial error by Kibunge with the net serve. And then Maxwell with that, he couldn't convert that score. And of course, this sends it to the 5-setter. I am sure we have quite a conversation in the live broadcast on YouTube and Facebook as well. Let us know your views. Peter Odhiambo. Well, Dennis Omolo greatly missed here. So as Kamara. Weriket, you're saying that. Charles, you're saying it depends on the leadership of the federation and the vision they have for the sport. You wonder when you will see things like challenge system in volleyball in the country. Japish, you're saying this is lit. Matthew Tuitoek, KDF is your team and you're cheering them on. Caroline Joki, you're saying Pasta is very instrumental in this match. He has earned the team the most points, but he has also become the reason why they have lost this one, because of that crucial net serve. And these are the match statistics. Of course, 25-23 in favor of KPA. Points from attack, 13 KPA, KDF 14, so that is quite narrow there. More points for blocks for KPA, 1 for KDF. 1 service S to KPA, none for KDF. And they are at par in terms of the points and from the opponent errors. And this is getting interesting, Florence, don't you think?
It is getting interesting, and in the past we have seen that whenever a team comes from behind to equalize at 2 sets each, the 5 sets, in the 5th set, it's mostly possible, very possible.
That the team that came back.
That the team that came back from behind will take the set, because from the way KPA has been playing from the word go, it has been shown that they're really not into the match. They are just there hoping to perform well, but they were expecting not to perform as well as they did. They started the match at a low, very disheartened by the players, the dependable players not being able to play in this particular match, and the young players coming up to prove that we can hold you down
really
when
stepped
things go
up
wrong.
to play. So we wait to see how the 5th set turns up, but for now we take a break. Don't go far. Welcome back. This is the 5th set, the 5th and final set in this match between KDF and KPA for the 4th leg of this KVF Men's League. And now whoever will win this is the one who will not make a lot of mistakes.
And also will settle in quite
the one who will settle in quite early of the match. Owala again, and he plays it out of court. And the coach is wondering why. Yep.
A good attempt from him.
Jeffries, I think he's repeated the same move, Titus Kibet, but Owala has not been able to capitalize. Oh yeah, that point still goes to KPA. I think there's a net touch.
There seems to be a net touch.
Interesting. Titus Kibet with the service.
Sam Juma tries to
retrieve it, but it was too fast from Omuse there. And again, that blocking defense did not get to the line there. It is 1-1. This is going to be a tight one.
It's going to be a tight one with the KPA trying to prove a point, KDF telling them, no, we will not let you take this.
Sam Juma there claiming his territory really
well.
Doita being the experienced one. And he gets a net touch off of the shoulders of Maxwell. Kelvin Omuse is not amused. This point in time, like we said, everyone has to. The team that will win this is the team that will play without a lot of mistakes. Those net serves that we saw in the first bit of the game.
Especially with the KPA.
Oh, what a block. What a block from Bitok there. Even pointing out to Doita. I think who did not swing, well enough to do that kill, but also that block formation.
I think
was
also KDF
solid for KDF.
Are expecting Doita to be the person to be used in this particular set, because
and that is the first error by the KDF side with that away serve. And it is Maxwell again.
Maxwell again, serving outside.
This is becoming interesting, if you ask me. Brian Gamonde with the service there. I hope he doesn't do a butter trade with that point.
Wow.
Oh well, he earns that one.
He earns a point.
And he's super proud about it.
Very excited. He should be.
Look at that. Off the hands of Maxwell again. Omuse couldn't get there, of course, because there are a lot of people in that bench there looking on. And you see KDF have been really good from
Still
the beginning.
serving at Maxwell, and
oh, good set
and it's up
from Omuse. I mean from Nick. Again back to Omuse, and it
it's
goes
up.
out of play.
Was there a touch?
It seems
no,
there's a
there
net
is no touch.
Seems there's a net touch. Let's see.
Did
Yeah,
try
there's
to
a net
play
touch.
it off the hands
There
of.
is a net touch, or it's a block, a touch out.
There is no touch out. There is definitely. Oh
Yeah, that point
my.
goes to KDF.
It does go.
Jeffrey picks it, and Lemoy goes for it really hard. Jeffrey goes to serve. He's been really instrumental again
He has
for
it.
the KPA side. Lemoy, of course, playing really well in the middle there.
And seeing them attempt to play the center area, because they had shelved that in the previous sets because maybe it was not working for them. There was a lot of blocking on that particular area, so they would have opted for
Maxwell
wing
again with that
players.
reception. Let's see. Kibunge
it's
picks
still up.
it. And it is Doita again, and there's no one. Oh, it goes out of
It
play.
is out of play.
Oh, wow. For some moments, some very brief moment there, I thought it's still in court. It would really have been a beautiful one, considering no one even went.
No one had an attempt in
no one
saving
attempted
it.
to save it.
Well, the scores stand at 5 for
4-5.
KPA and 4 for KDF.
Omuse with a service. It's picked
Well
up by Jeffrey
received.
Jeff. It is. Oh, there's a net touch. Kibunge there. And Wechuli could not communicate easy. I hope there is no injury. Oh, well, he stands up. There is no injury. I wonder why they're not playing Lagat instead of Kibunge there, or Maxwell, considering he has a really good reception and also service that we've seen. Even blocking. Chebitet there.
He has been.
He's been instrumental. Chris Owala. Kibunge picks it. Oh, it is blocked.
They
Is there a
save
net
it.
touch? Nope.
Ball is still in play.
And of course
Doita.
Doita with his experience.
Can
Can we comfortably say that whoever gets to the 8-point mark
Well,
has
That
you
will
know,
depend with the opponent's score
because now
margin. Because if it's
like
7-8,
a 3-point
then
difference
a 3
now.
point, very comfortable. Say the person that will change court will be
Yes.
responsible for the change of court, and also maintain a 3-point lead in this
Yeah, we'll win
particular
it.
set. Will definitely win it.
Yep.
But should they slug that, like we have seen in the previous sets, where they start good, then they get to a certain point and slow down, then it is going to cost them. But also the boost in the morale coming from behind and taking 2 sets,
Yep.
that has got to count for
It is a
something.
game changer for KDF. I mean for KPA. We wait to see how this continues to play out. Of course, it's Chris Owala again with a service. If they're able to avoid the mistakes that they've been doing, then we are going to see a win for unlikely win for KPA, considering how they played the first two sets. Of course, there Kibunge going in hard, and Jeffrey Jeff could not pick that up. Peter
Probably
Odhiambo, you're
because
saying
he was-
Aliwa should check on his team service. He's saying they lost a lot of those receptions to Trailblazers.
Wow,
Moy again,
a very good attack
playing
from
really
the center
beautifully.
position right
and at this
there.
point in time, it's a 3-point difference as they change court. KP, of course, in the lead. Can they be able to maintain that lead? Of course, Jeffrey Jeff again with that really nice pick for KPA. Pius Kyoko, you're saying KPA is also your team. Joseph Kariri, you're saying KDF is as good as defeated without Lagat in the match. Exactly what I was saying, because he's such a good player and he's out of court.
Yes, definitely.
They seem to be bringing in Josephat Karanja in place of Wechuli there. That is the change that they are making, KDF.
Well, is it possible that KDF might not be blocking in the center position because it has been dormant for a better
Yep,
part of the
yep,
game?
yep.
So they
For this
didn't
particular set, actually,
anticipate
KP have made use of that.
position, and there's a serve
Oh, no.
outside.
Lemoy, who's been crucial in
Very.
earning those points, has made that very bad error. Joseph Karanja Josephat Karanja goes to serve for KPA. For KDF. Will he also? Jeffrey Jeff picks it nicely. It is Thoita.
A good attempt at picking it. And
there was a lot of power behind that ball by Thoita there. And Kibunge tried to pick it, but it went way out of court.
And
still
again,
3 points lead.
Splitting the blocks by that fake move by Gamonde, who tried to attack at the center.
Of course.
Now they are aware that the center position.
Titus Kibet with that service. Again to Maxwell.
It's an ace.
Yeah,
to
another
Maxwell
ace.
once again.
Maxwell has proven to be a liability in the set before and this set.
In the
it is 4 points
area
now.
And KPA seem to have discovered that and capitalized.
Yep, and now they bring in Lagat. Now, of all the time, they bring in Lagat. So I think Titus is going to serve to the libero. Oh, he's serving to Lagat. Picked up by Sam Juma, but it is not enough.
Seems to have.
Of course, Lagat there warming up to block. I wonder what Coach Aliwa, what was going on in his mind. Sam, you're saying you're wishing KPA a win. Nick Kimutai there. Another lucky serve, but they're still back 2 points. There seems to be an issue that Thoita has with the referee there.
What he says that the
and
ball
they
is outside.
have a conversation there with the line ref.
He did raise up the flag that the ball was outside. Well, we can see that on the replay. Unfortunately, they do not get that point.
What happens? Let's see.
Not sure about whether the ball hit the antenna or not.
That point goes to.
and
there is a yellow card that is going to be given.
Important to.
It's a red card, and that point means.
And that's a
will that point go to KPA? Yes, of course.
It's a direct point for KPA.
It's a direct point.
The fifth set.
Yes. Fun fact: in volleyball, if you receive a red card, you do not leave the court, but the point is given to the opponent.
You don't want that to happen when the margins are quite dangerous.
The coach Aliwa there.
Also keeping in mind that this
going
is a
to court.
Force.
Yes.
You don't want to have cases of indiscipline.
Again. You can see Coach Aliwa there having a conversation
about the scores.
Getting real with the tosser, the setter there, Nick Kimutai, pointing him to the scoreboard there. Victor Oloyo saying Dockers are breaking shields and it's a broken arrow call. KDF bado tunaweza tukaze kiasi. Bitutu is cheering the Dockers on. It's now 4 points between the two teams. Of course, with KPA in the lead.
High.
Let us have a look at how this is going to turn out. If there are any cases of indiscipline, then you've seen the coach there having a conversation with them. No, it's not a common point. That is a point to the KPA side because of that red card.
KPA 4 points shy of taking this match.
Oh, Samoe picks it really nicely.
And it's out.
And it's out.
It's outside.
Ball goes out. I think there is a lot of tension now in this organization. Omuso plays it out of court, almost hitting the KPA coach Mulinga there. And it's 12-7, 5 points. Thoita there with that service. Lagat tries to play it,
and it's
still in play by, and of course Chris Owala.
Very entertaining right there, enjoying
beautiful
that
celebration
point.
there from Chris Owala.
2 points shy of taking this particular match.
Weriket, you're saying Kim is best setter and you're proud of him. Again, Thoita there with the service. Another beautiful service, nicely picked up by Kibungei there. It is a good finish there by Kelvin Omuse. Of course, Gamonde went up with Bitok and Jeffrey Jeff couldn't stop Omuse. It is Lagat with a service.
Well, looking at the score margins,
it's as good as gone.
I would say KP have an advantage in this case because they're actually receiving. So they have a fast line.
Doita picks it, over-receives it. It is Kibungei, and he decides to just, what a beautiful finish by Chris Owala, and he goes on to celebrate, and it's a set point.
It actually matters. When it matters.
When it actually matters.
Yes,
Gamonde really trusting in himself there with that back set.
With that back set, being a center blocker.
Being a center player.
Do not have the
14-8 and Gamonde there going to serve.
Well, 14-8, 1 point.
Gamonde with that service, but it is a net serve. It is, he has the space to make these mistakes, Gamonde.
Because of the comfort.
Because it's a 5-point lead, 6-point lead actually.
You can never be so confident.
And Mulinge thinks about calling for that timeout. KDF really are going to regret this because it was theirs for the taking.
It was theirs for the taking.
Now they have settled for just 1 point.
Probably they were a bit slow on finding out the weaknesses that were in KP's side.
I actually think it is the errors that they have continually made, including that mistake that they did trying to do that indiscipline with the referee there.
Team.
And so we have seen even having the coach coming into the pitch to calm the players for a disciplined force, for sure.
You cannot
that is quite something.
Afford.
And the history that they were about to break, these guys, of beating, KPA.
And as you say, they have never been beaten. Muiruri coming in to solidify.
Considering he's the libero there,
reception.
He's actually pushing the other guys who are not receivers.
And it's up.
You
cannot afford to make such mistakes.
Oh, it's another costly mistake there.
Very costly mistake, and they move
now
a point.
4 points. And I think Jeffrey Jeff is going to come back to court. Moirori goes out. Doita has to pick that up well. Bitok with the service. If he serves to the net, it's as good as over. Doita picks it.
Try and disorient his
Owala finishes it. No, he doesn't. Omuse there with that nice block. It is only 1 point.
Seems
that
to
these
be
guys
a problem in the setting department. The balls seem to be too high or too far from.
Bitok again with the service.
And it's up.
Doita again. And Lemoy finishes it.
From the center position.
What a celebration from the KPA side.
And
having been the underdogs.
Points that have been proved quite clearly whether we are complete or not. We are a formidable side. And
they started this match as the underdogs.
As the underdogs.
KDF being the favorites, but they have lost this. It's a 3-1 win in favor of KPA. And of course, Jepish was saying you're celebrating there. Nasema kutangulia sio kufika. I saw another one say kutangulia kwa bar.
Sio kulewa.
Good fight, KPA. Jackson Murithi, thank you so much for joining. And it's really been a beautiful display, a beautiful game here by KDF, but they haven't been able to maintain that momentum to the very end. Quite some show of indiscipline at some point in the game. Paul Mutali, you're saying the defense force for KDF is gone. Ross Mudoni, you're saying go KDF, even with that loss. So 25-22 for the first set in favor of KDF, then 26-24 for KPA, 25-23 for KDF, and then again KPA came back to win 25-23, and now the fifth and final set is 15-11 in favor of KPA, and of course that means that KPA walk away with 2 points. KDF 1. Here are the match stats, Flo.
KPA taking the 3 sets against 2 from KDF, and the points are at 15-11. Attack points, we have 7 for KPA and 5 for KDF, quite low for KDF. Well, we have a block points, so we have KDF at 2 and KPA 0. Service, we have 2 for KPA and 1 for KDF, and the opponent's error stand at 6 for KPA and KDF 4. Looking at the set scores, we see that all the sets that were played, none did KPA lose under the 20-point mark. It was close to that, but it never got there. Certain times we have seen that KDF was getting to 22 and KPA 16, 17, but they were able to pull up. It seems that it was a case of a mental issue, not quite the physical. They were good physically, but mentally they were not quite there. Clearly. And they realized that much when the opponent had gone way beyond the 20-point mark.
Well, definitely that has been the case, and you want to ask yourself why they couldn't play with GSU, considering the way they have come back to win this match. Elsewhere, you know, the matches that have been played today, of course, we had Equity Bank play Nyanza Prisons. Of course, that match wasn't played, but the points went to Equity Bank. AP Kenya played with Kenya Army, and they lost that match to Kenya Army. 3-1 there, and then GSU and Prisons Nairobi, that is 3-0, not 3-3 like displayed there, but that is just a slight error. Of course, KDF and KPA has just played now, and KPA have won this 3-2. Vihiga County are playing against Prisons Western. We'll keep you updated because that is the only match that is still on. The other matches that couldn't be played, of course, are Prisons Kenya and Prisons Central, Trailblazers versus Prisons Mombasa, Prisons Rift Valley, and KFS. But this has really been a beautiful match. You're saying bravo, Jepish. Peter Odhiambo, you're saying as history has it, KDF has never beaten KPA. Of course, that has been upheld today. Faoud Yusuf Shirazi, you're saying fantastic win by KPA, especially considering that Omolo and Kamara couldn't play. That's exactly what we've been saying now.
Very true.
So yeah, this has been quite an interesting match. It has, you know, held up to the expectations that we had. That is, it is going to be an interesting match, and KDF were the favorites really, but KPA have come from back down to win this particular match. Thank you so much for joining us in this live broadcast. Of course, at the commentating desk, it's been yours truly, Manuel Yegon, and
Florence Bosire coming in for the end of the third match. Or the second match
of the day, really, considering
the rains and everything that happened during the day. And we're hoping for a bright day tomorrow. Very important to have Prisons playing a match tomorrow. They've not been playing for the better part of these leg matches because their opponents have not been present. They've not honored their matches. So tomorrow we see Prisons in action. I don't know whether they're sitting down or not. Having real activity is going to affect their performance tomorrow, but we wait and see.
Well, we wait and see, and we hope that you're going to join us. Of course, remember to subscribe to our channel, Trailblazers Volleyball Club, because that is where all this action will be coming. You can follow our page on Facebook as well, Trailblazers Volleyball Club, the same handles on Instagram and even TikTok, and we will, of course, remember to, we'll be here. We will be here to bring you all that action. Tomorrow, here are the fixtures for Sunday, 23rd of April, 2023. We'll start with KFS against Equity Bank in the morning. That is quite an interesting match.
Yes.
And then Prisons Mombasa will play Rift Valley Prisons, although I don't not think that match will be played because neither of the teams have shown up. Prisons Central versus TVC, again, that one will not be played because Central are not here. Prisons Western and Prisons Kenya is the game that we are going to also be looking out for. KP are going to play Vihiga VC because, of course, Vihiga also are here. Prisons Nairobi are going to play KDF. That is a match that must be played. Kenya Army GSU is also another interesting match that we are going to see, considering Kenya Army beat AP Kenya today. Nyanza and AP Kenya will not be played because they are also not... Prisons Nyanza is not in NYAYO State. They've not been able to show up for this particular leg. Caroline Joki, you're saying we appreciate TVC for bringing the matches near us. Of course, we are dedicated to changing how we show these matches, of course, locally and internationally, and we are committed to doing that. You are going to enjoy these matches from the comfort of your bed or the comfort of your workplace, or even in church. You can sneak in a few minutes or two to watch the game. We are not encouraging that,
we
but
do not certainly don't encourage that, please.
What we mean is that we are bringing this match to wherever you are, courtesy, of course, of TVC Volleyball, Trailblazers Volleyball Club and Mafro Sports. So from here at NYAYO Stadium, we are wishing you a good Saturday evening. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow and have a lovely evening. Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much for joining us. Bye.